All righty. We'll do the Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing out there? I know that I said that I probably wasn't going to do a show today, but I said, you know what? How about if we just bring community members in and we just chat and just have conversations, kind of like what we do whenever we do the tips we do every day. And then afterward, we usually sit there and to go over so much more stuff. It's really kind of fun and incredible. But before I get to that, and those of you that don't know, in the Hangout message box, it's not Hangout, excuse me, in the chat message box for the Tinkering group, that's where you can find that link to come in and join us here. So feel free to jump over there if you want. Don't forget, tell us where you're from, country, city, state, all that kind of stuff. We do have a private community. I wanted to let you know about that. And it's right down here. If you hit the join button, you can come at the tinkering level or higher. You get to be a part and witness some of this stuff. We do have a website also, tinkeringwithtech.net. All right, now that I got all the legal stuff out, no, there's no legal stuff. I'm just kidding. Oh, my goodness. All right. We are Tinkering with Tech. All right. Without further ado, let me go ahead and bring in some of my guests from our community. There's Mike, 𝐤𝐚𝐬𝐿, and Mark. Oh, somebody's got the sound playing in the background. Somebody's got the sound playing in the background. Who is that? I don't know who had the sound going, but anyway, somebody did. All right. Anyway, I think it might be Mike. I think it might have been Mike. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, hey guys, awesome to have you guys. Good to see you guys. Hopefully you can hear me.
Sure.
You know,
someone said there was going to be snacks.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? No, 𝐤𝐚𝐬? No, we hear you.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Let me check.
Okay.
Try this.
All right, no problem. 𝐤𝐚𝐬 definitely has greetings from the Low Country, South Carolina. Mike, who's in here. There you go, Niagara Falls. Bob, how are you, sir? From over in Bellevue. Wow, 43 degrees. That's not fun. 43. What would 43 be in Canada there, Mike?
I don't know. 36 here. So.
Okay. First thing I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to show you, this arrived in the mail today, so I have to show you this, okay? So let me go to my table camera. All right, so you see right here, you see my Stream Deck, right? Check this out. Okay, you got to watch carefully because watch what's happening. Uh-oh, looky here for the Stream Deck. I got a Stream Deck cover. Look at there. Isn't that awesome? It's got Friday Night Game Night, Zoom. It's got all of the good stuff on there. Isn't that cool? Hashtag Friday Night Game Show. How awesome is that?
Yes, I love it.
That's so cool. All righty. I don't know, 𝐤𝐚𝐬, I don't know what's going on, but you can watch in the audience if you want. If you want to go out and watch in the audience, you can do that, 𝐤𝐚𝐬. But we can hear you, so if you want to just do that, you can do that as well. Whatever you want to do, 𝐤𝐚𝐬. We'll tinker with it afterward because that's what we do. So anyway, is that not cool? How cool is that? Mike, thank you very much. That's from NLTMW down in the corner. He got me that cool little thing there, so I do appreciate it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you can hear me on YouTube, but you can't hear me in StreamYard. So strange. I don't know what's up. I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. So lots of tech in the news too. Now we can't hear you. We can't hear you now, so I don't know. Do you want to go in the? Do you want to go? Okay, that's fine. You can go in the audience or whatever. That's fine. Yeah, you can watch on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, 𝐤𝐚𝐬, I don't know what's up.
Maybe she comes back in. go out and come back in. Maybe, I don't know.
Something in the
Yeah,
settings.
let's see here. I'll take it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up, but anyway, no worries. So we'll be tinkering with that, trying to get her sound back. Unless it's in the settings, you could check in the settings, because she could always come back in, and I'll just let her sit down there if she wants to. But she could check in the settings and see what her audio setting is, which is interesting because we're going to do a workshop this week on the different. I just announced it a little bit ago. We're going to do a workshop this weekend on 3 different live streaming platforms. I just signed up and learned about one, so I'm going to go over all of those just to give the community a little bit of differences and what they are and what they do. So that should be a fun one, if I remember to record it. Right, last time I forgot to record. Yeah, whatever. You know how that goes. All right, so Mark, you're involved with tech all the time, work, business, everything else, all that kind of stuff. So I want to ask you specifically, because in your realm of things, in your business and that kind of stuff, how has, since it's been out for a month now or whatever, how do you think, or just visualize, and Mike, you can contribute to this as well, just whatever, Chat GPT. Let's talk about that for just a little bit. How do you think that has impacted, and what do you think, or do you think have you used it? Do you think it's awesome? And then I'll let you talk a little bit. So go ahead.
Well, thank you. I do use it. I do think it's awesome, but like anything, it's like learning what to do with it once you get it, right? So probably the most useful thing for me and what I do is I use it to actually analyze and score content that Google will like. In other words, not just generated content for. I said the G word. My phone went off. Not just content, but actually, let it analyze and score how good I'm doing on all the different criteria for G's guidelines.
That's interesting. I've never thought about that. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So just, I can put in my stuff there and say, well, you're good with this. Like they've got a couple, obviously a few updates they had last year, like the helpful content update. There was another update about products and whatnot. So you can say, okay, well, for example, let's say I sell iPhones, for example. So I write actually physically write an article about the product, right? And then I can see, well, let's see, how did I do? How is this going to, how did I do? How do I give it a score? So there's, I come up with a couple prompts you put together, and you can score it really simple, 5 different points, and it'll give you like a score from 1 to 10 on how good that content is overall compared to Google's published guidelines last year. So that's how probably the most interesting way of using it.
I thought that's incredible. I think that's neat.
I don't know how helpful it is, but it makes me feel good.
Yeah, it's something different too. Mike, you want to interject and give your thoughts as well?
I haven't really used it.
Okay.
At all.
That's fair. That's fair.
So many other things to do. But
yeah. Well, you certainly have
the
pretty
big
cool
peak of
suggestions about it and stuff.
Everybody get all excited and it was everywhere, and then it's kind of quietened a bit. So I'm kind of going to see where it shakes. But
yeah, I hear you. I get it. Oh my gosh, my dogs! I think they're going to attack somebody that just is at the door. This is going to be awesome. So we're going to have a dog fight. We're going to watch a dog fight. No, I'm just kidding. And Dimebag Darren. Wow, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you over here. He says the good quality is always here. How kind of you, sir. Very nice to see you, sir.
Welcome.
Excellent. Nice. And Jolyn made the comment, don't like the Chat GPT, not comfortable chatting the AI. However, I do use the AI playground. Yeah, I get it.
I'm glad she mentioned that, because I found out yesterday that the AI playground, which I used to use all the time, is technically their Chat GPT 3, where since late January they came out with 3.5. I don't keep on top of it that much anyway. Kind of old, but I found out that their playground is still 3.0. So whatever the difference is, I don't know. But so I found that out yesterday. So I like John was saying, that playground is pretty cool. but I'm sure that they'll update it with the latest thing soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No doubt. And that's what's interesting about some of this kind of stuff is that I'm sure it's going to be a progressive thing as well. And what is it? It says, Mike, you green. Okay. Oh yeah, you are a little green there, Mike. I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. Donna, I'll gladly bring you in if you like, or just even a thumbs up. Yes, bring you in. There you go. Okay. All right. Hey, Donna, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good. We are live.
To make it, so.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, good. We are live, so you're on live with us, which is awesome. I got all kinds of community members coming in and chatting with us. So we're just talking tech, learning some things and doing some things. Now, Donna, I know you're not too much into this, but I know you like your genealogy type stuff and everything. Have you used the Chat GPT at all in that? In any phase of that? No. Okay. All right. Well, I figure I'd ask just to see. But I think there's some possible cool potential with that, though, and I'm sure that community probably will be engaging in some of that.
I'm sure.
And let's see, Mike says, oh, you're in here. He says, blue overhead light makes me green. Yeah. Okay. It's not easy being green. Somebody said that once, I think. Oh, Kermit, I know. Yeah, no. So there's a lot of interesting stuff. So one thing that's interesting to me is how far they'll go. Because if you think about where they are with it now, and I was talking to some of our community members and some other people about this as well. This is not really that new. You know what I'm saying? It's been in the background for a very long time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to mention that because we don't like to set everybody's device off, but G actually has been doing a lot of this with their assistant, with and you know what? I know I isolate it to G. It's not just G. I'm sure the A one does too. I'm sure all of these, and I'm sure they're all shared engineers and all this kind of tech and stuff. I'm sure it's mixed around, don't you think? Just your thoughts?
I certainly. It's a great time to have with Microsoft products. I think. I mean, they're just. Mm-hmm. I was talking to a couple of people that Michael, you're totally into spreadsheets. Obviously, it's a lot of these power users like you are just, it just takes it to the next level, right? It gives you such a great thing to have on the side to be able to really, really use Excel or Sheets or whatever, or both, just on steroids, for lack of a better word.
That's a great point. And, I actually used it 3 times today, writing JavaScript in the background for 2 spreadsheets today on my Google Sheets. So, I mean, it's just crazy. Sorry if I set anybody's device off. I didn't mean to, but yeah. And then that's what I've been trying to do at work. That's what kept me. And that's why I felt like I couldn't do the show today. No, that's not true. That's something else that tied me up. But it definitely got me behind because, I get into that. And so it's like me having one thing I really like about it is that you're having a conversation. It's an actual conversation that you're having with these AI, you know what I'm saying? And you speak in real terms. So that's one thing that's super cool about it is you can just sit there and say, okay, well, I see what you mean, but let me give you a sample of it. And you paste in a sample of what you're trying to do, because here's the results I'm looking for. Can you help me do something like this? And it's super cool to have that. I mean, it's just really neat to have that showing up that way and doing that kind of thing. So I get who was it that said, I don't feel comfortable chatting with AI. Yeah, Jolin said that. No, I get it. I get that. I totally understand that too. And I can relate. So anyway.
One thing, Michael, one thing that it would be really neat if this could help people, AI could help people that can't afford like tutoring, for example, or educational medical stuff all over the world. I mean, to me, the best use case would be to help people that can't necessarily, afford this stuff. And there are billions of people that can benefit from the I would think if a well-trained medical language model, right, to
That's
really
a valid
help
point.
with medical questions, especially urgent ones, right?
Yeah.
Right away, not to replace it, but there are some places obviously that have none. Bless you.
Thank you.
And tutoring. I still have one thing on Spanish and another one on German about obviously there's translating things out there, but to help people kind of tutor them with learning different things. I mean, it could be anything, obviously math, things like that. Anyway, that's education.
Well, one thing that I like too is when you're asking the question, some of you can say, explain to me if it's some technical stuff and it's just beyond you. Explain to me as if you were talking to a third grader or a second grader. That's really cool that you're able to do that. And that's what I like to do that with Spanish, because there's so many different dialects of Spanish. So how do you say purple in Mexican Spanish, Puerto Rican Spanish, South American Spanish, Spain Spanish, because they use a different word for purple. A lot of them use a different word for purple.
That's a great point.
Yeah. So I think that's not only is it giving you like just ask a question, get an answer kind of thing, but you can get deeper. I mean, it's more, they're pulling from that region where people are using that text and giving you that as an answer. I think that is really super cool. I think that's awesome. And I really think too, when they get to, hey, Linda, you gave me a thumbs up. How are you? Thank you very much for the thumbs up over on the Facebook side. I think one of the things that's really cool too is, it's cool or scary. I don't know, but actual speak, like voice and video and creating like bots and robots. And let's see, I've read recently that it is being used for medical issues. Yeah. See, that's so cool. I agree with you, Mark. I think that's really super cool. Some of these things like that, I think could be super helpful in a lot of ways.
Or even like, for example, I was joking today. I was at Home Depot. This is an example, and nobody wanted to help me. And it was nothing against Home Depot. It's a great company. I just, but I thought, because they were kind of the first company down here in California to initiate the self-checkouts about maybe 5, 6 to 10 years ago, whatever it was. And then everybody, because their lines were really long, so they came out with the self-checkout. And now self-checkout is everywhere, right? So now I'm thinking, I just need to know where the fertilizer is. Can you tell me what aisle it's on? I walked all over the store trying to find somebody. And wouldn't it be great if I just could ask, like if it knew where everything was in the store and just help me find it on the aisle?
Well, it's interesting that you say that Home Depot now has on their app where you can go in, you pick the store, and it will show you on what aisle, where it is, what it's next to. It has that feature now on your phone, if you have the Home Depot app.
Right. Okay.
But I like what you're saying. I think that's a great idea. Have like a little robot head standing there at each, every other row or aisle that you can ask a question and say, hey, are buckets down this aisle?
Yeah, something, just anywhere to be helpful, even the smallest thing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know about the app. So if I use their AI, whatever help, it would definitely help me
That's
to
a good
download
point.
the app and start moving it. So it's great for them. So a lot of people are afraid about losing jobs and stuff like that. I think maybe the thing to kind of think is to embrace AI and say, okay, this is a new thing. Like when TV,
it's coming. It's coming.
Like radio,
It's here.
Radio was going to go away, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
At the time. So it was like, okay, well, let's embrace this, and this will be a new medium or platform for everything. So that those of us that embrace it probably will not only enjoy it more, but also will probably benefit from it more than people that are avoiding it.
Yeah. Great point. Excellent point. I love that. I think that's an excellent point to that. And what I think too, one thing that I absolutely think is so interesting is the fact that you can, a lot of times people are always asking questions like that, or always looking for something, or always, you think about it all the time. You're always looking for something. You're always looking. I don't care what store it is or what. And everybody's shopping online now. So it makes it, the only thing I don't want, I will say this, I don't want Home Depot to notify my wife, because it just makes my to-do list longer. I don't want that. That's the only thing. It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up here. I mean, it was a short one today. I didn't even think I was going to go live, but if anybody's rewatching this and have your opinions on this stuff, we would love to have it. Be sure to send that in. We would love to have any comments that you have, or thoughts that you have. Anybody that is in the community, you got the link over there we'll just stay in here. We won't go to the backstage pass today. I'll just leave the backstage pass off and try and come in here. Jolin, I hope you come back in, because we'd like to help you try and figure out what the heck's going on with your sound. So let's work on that. And maybe we can go through a different channel as far as, or no, we can always chat. There's a chat in here, so we could chat to try and help you figure that out. Yep. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get them fixed, right, Mike?
That.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. I'm going to end this. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And like I said, everybody can stick around here. As soon as this is off, we will be in here, and this will be what we use for the backstage. All right. Bye, all. Take care. See you next week.